I just want to get us up by 5:30. We don't need to be started yet. Did we want to talk about Tom Brady and like the him getting a deal, or should we just ignore it? Come back to it later?
Um, we can just mention it.
It just seems like another saga of his uh, retirement tour. That's not
Mm-hmm.
okay. Then we can talk about it. All right. Everything else look good? You want to add anything?
I'm pulling it up right now.
Also, over the summer, I was thinking,
Yep, looks
because
good.
you're almost done, right?
Yeah, Tuesday's my last day.
All right, then I think starting Tuesday, once a week, each one of us should be reliable for finding someone to interview. Each week will flip.
Okay.
So like we just gotta get. We don't have to like have it confirmed. We don't have to get the interview. We just gotta get a way to contact them and to contact them.
Okay.
Once a week, we each get one. All right.
I like that.
I like it too. We gotta hold ourselves accountable. Like each week, we need all that stuff. So I think once all our school shit's done, we can get it done. All right. Now I think we're good, unless you wanted to add something.
Mm, Ready to go whenever. Actually, let me post on Insta real quick.
Summertime wise, guys. We already got some viewers. That's what we like to see. All right. Let me.
Oh, are we already streaming, talking about our plans?
Yeah. Nah, that's fine.
Oh, yeah, obviously.
I guess that doesn't. People can know that we want to step up our game.
Did I? Oh.
All right. I'm putting on my Snapchat story.
All right.
All
Oh, wait, and check volume.
right. Yeah. Check the volume real
We're
quick,
good.
and then we're good to go. All right.
Volume good.
Sweet.
Get the show on the road.
That's what I'd love to see. All right. Let's get started. 3, 2, 1. Hello and welcome to the Wise Guys podcast. I'm your host, Brady Fitzgerald, joined as always by my co-host, Chris Hagan.
How you guys doing?
Doing well, Chris. I was thinking about it yesterday. We can't keep missing these Fridays. It just my whole week's messed up. I'm like yesterday I woke up, I was ready for the pod. It wasn't Tuesday. I mean, I forgot that it was Tuesday and not Wednesday. It just seems like it's too long in between pods, you know?
Yeah, it is. I mean, once we kind of hit a rough spot here the last couple weeks because you had finals and then going home, and then now I have finals and
And
I
then
had
you'll be
place to
going
be.
home. Yeah.
So hopefully during the summer we can kind of nail down some times because we have the time set obviously, but I feel like every week we're switching. I mean, even this week, like it's an hour earlier.
Yep. And that's just how, I mean, hour early for this week is just because of some great games that we will get into. But, yeah, as both of us are in the Christmas colors for today.
Just remember, it's not our jobs. We got stuff going on, so we do what we can.
All right, so before we get into any games that are going on right now, let's get into the latest thing on Tom Brady's retirement tour of his retirement non-retirement tour. He's already getting signed for TV deals that are more money than anyone's ever seen. And he's not even retired yet.
They also don't know like how he's gonna be in the booth.
What if he
Like he
sucks?
could suck at it. I
Like,
doubt he will, but
I doubt he
it's
were
a
too.
chance.
There's going to be a chance where he just is going to be like Drew Brees, where he doesn't really add anything, keeps it super
Hmm.
safe. But he's going to, he's going to do his homework. He's going to put in 100%
Hmm.
effort because That's what Tom Brady is. But like, let's see what he says, and let's see how much because he likes to put himself out in the limelight, but also keep stuff back. He doesn't like to share a lot of things, even though he's always throwing himself in the limelight. My question,
I feel like now that it's kind of changing now, though. Like I don't. He had that one. I think he's on social media way more, and like a couple days there was that TikTok. Did you see he made
oh yeah,
about the
like
talk
yeah.
rule? Like stuff like that. He never would have said a couple years ago.
That's true, because Belichick would have been on his ass. So.
And he did the whole 30 for 30 with Charles Woodson about that game. I don't know. It seems like he's got stories to tell. I feel like he wants to share his knowledge.
I think that, yeah, I mean, they say it in the comments right now. Bro got more money than Tony Romo, and he hasn't even done a game. Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. But you're talking about the stories, and if he does tell those stories and makes it his own, like, part of the analysis and everything, hell, he played 20 years. He knows, like, what a good football player looks like, what a bad football player looks like. He could also just come on this broadcast, be like, some guy throws a pass, be like, oh, that guy's a bust.
You think he's gonna be like mean?
I don't know. I think a part of it. I think he would be mean. I think he would like. How could you possibly handle bad quarterback play if you're the greatest?
Like I can't picture him as a coach for that reason. Like Wayne Gretzky, who's the greatest hockey player of all time, tried to be a coach and it didn't really work out very well. My guess is because he was like too good and expected too much.
Yeah, expected too much. That's what I feel like. Tom watching any of these quarterbacks, he's just gonna be, like Troy Aikman. Every time like the Cowboys kind of stink, he gets like a little stigma about him and he gets a little attitude. I think Brady would just hate watching bad quarterbacks.
Right.
Because I would.
Luckily for him, he'll be on like the marquee games, so he'll get the best of the best every week.
That's true. So my question with Fox is they're gonna have these two reporters out doing whatever for, I don't know, until Brady retires, which could be 1 year from now, or it could be halfway through the season. It could be 2 years from now. I have no idea. But what happens if those guys are really good?
Bummer. Yeah, I mean, it's guys that are already established broadcasters. Like it was the previous number 2 team, right?
Yeah, it was like I forget his name. I think it's like Burkhardt.
Burkhardt is the top
Burkhardt,
guy.
And then
but
Greg
he'll
Olsen,
stay,
right? Yeah, I think Burkhardt's gonna
Olsen.
be with Tom Brady. So I guess I don't know if
Olsen will get. I like Olsen. I think
Olsen's not bad. Yeah.
But I guess if you have the chance to bring in Brady, you're gonna take it.
Yeah.
And they didn't have to pay Buck or Aikman, so they've got money.
Yeah, but now you spent more money buying Tom Brady.
Right. Yeah.
He needs to relax. He's not done playing yet. Like, I don't know what's his rush? What is his, does he think once he retires, everyone's just going to forget about Tom Brady?
I don't know. I think they showed up with a check and he said, that's a lot of money, and just took it.
That's true.
I don't think there's a lot more to it than that.
I guess that's true. And you look at the Peyton Manning side about it. And Peyton, he's probably like, where's my check? Like, I have been sitting here, but I think Peyton, he likes that it's on his terms. Like, if Brady does, he's going to be working for Fox. He can't dictate which games he goes to. He can't dictate. Like, think about it. This is a guy who now seems like he wants everything by his own rules. So it might be a little wake-up call for him now that he's, like, think about it. He'll go from the greatest to just be, now you're an employee of Fox. Like, you can't do whatever you want.
I mean, if you think that he's not getting, like, special benefits compared to the other employees, then you're nuts.
No, of course he will be. But still in that same structure, I guess he doesn't get to choose, like, his own shows and stuff like that. But
Right.
I'm sure he doesn't care. I'm sure he'll have a great time with it. If I'm his family, I'm pretty pissed, though. Oh, so great. Now every Sunday we also...
I mean, it's one game a week, so it's not like that. It's just like having a regular job.
Yeah, that's true.
Except less work.
You're right. That's a good point. I forgot that they only get one.
Although he's such a nutcase that...
He might be in the film room every day.
Yeah, 10 hours a day.
All right. Well, that's just the next part of his retirement saga. Let's move on to some great basketball. And and that is the Celtics Bucks, which we had a comment coming out of the top from it saying Bucks suck,
Came in guns
Celtics good.
ablaze.
That is all. That's what we like to see. So we got them Celtics fans in the crowd, and this last game at least, I mean, and the game before, this whole series has been the most tense series I've seen, like in my lifetime. I feel like.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like the first two games were not very close, and it was like they kind of traded blowouts.
Mm-hmm.
The two games in Milwaukee were about as
Blood
close
battles.
as you get for back-to-back games.
Blood battles.
Yeah, a lot of ref show, which you hate to see in the playoffs, but it happens when you have a guy that plays as physical as Giannis does. That's what it's gonna look like. But I mean, is Al Horford like the greatest playoff performer of all time?
He is making his case for the Hall of Fame. I'm putting it out there. Just put Al Horford in there as we speak. This is a guy that no one in the NBA wanted. He was sitting on the bench of Oklahoma City for 9 months as they didn't want to pay him or play him, and they had to. Besides the Celtics deal, getting rid of Kemba's contract, every other team they would have had to put in a first just to. Or the OKC would have had to put in a first just to get rid of Al Horford. So, it's a guy anyone could have had. He wasn't in the right position. He gets back to this team where these younger guys like Tatum and Smart and Brown have already had him on his team before. They already have a good relationship. And now he comes back. He gets that veteran leadership. You know, he had a rough stretch at the beginning of the season, but this is where you're going to need a vet like this.
Mm-hmm.
You need a vet to carry some young guys, show them what's up. And that's exactly what he did.
Yeah, I mean, it's a crazy turn of events that he's actually became like a real contributor again. And it's not like he's just like a vet presence off the bench. It's like he's scoring 16 points in the fourth quarter and putting the team on his back on the road.
Yeah, it's like if he wasn't playing like this, we would lose and we would be out of the playoffs.
Right, yeah. And you'd be down 3-1.
Yes.
The best player in the
this
NBA.
Isn't just this game. This is game 2 of this series. This has been a couple games in the Brooklyn series. Like, without him in these playoffs, this is not the same Celtics team whatsoever. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, like, I don't think they're this far into it. I think the series is probably already over. And it's because we haven't had the Tatum game. We've had the Jaylen Brown game. We've now had the Al Horford game. And Tatum had a quiet 30 this game. He had 12 in the fourth, which was nice. But a very quiet 30. And I think at home, game 5, tonight, love to see that Tatum game. I'd love to see it happen. And I think it's got to come soon. Mm-hmm. But my Celtics, the dark horse MVP, that's not Al. Al's getting all the limelight, but Mr. Derek White is putting in the numbers. He wasn't shooting well in games 1 and 2. And 3, they kind of like forced him to shoot a little bit. And he wasn't that very good. But actually, no, he was decent. He was decent in game 3. Forgot. And then game 4, he was excellent. He knows what he's doing. He picks his spots. And he's a good passer, good defender.
The big deadline acquisition.
Yeah, yep. Everyone was making
super excited about that, were we?
No, we weren't. And there was a lot of people giving me crap about, all they got was Derek White. And yeah, he's not going to score 20, but if he can get in that 12 points per game range, he's a good contributor. And he basically picks up the slack when Marcus doesn't. When Marcus can't get the hustle. Like, game 3, Marcus was hurting. He was not where he should have been. And Derek White was picking up the slack on that one. That game 3 we watched together, where Al Horford was literally a second away from bringing it to overtime.
Yeah, that was a heartbreak.
Yeah, and that type of game doesn't happen if Tatum doesn't score 10. You know, he scores. If he scores 20, we're up by 10 and it's over.
Yeah, I mean that type of game can't happen again from him.
No,
from your best player.
And
we saw it with Brooklyn. One of the big reasons that they couldn't even make that a competitive series is because Durant was off the whole series. And obviously he's more valuable to them than Tatum is to the Celtics just because of the surrounding guys on the team. But still, you're in the playoffs, your stars have to be your stars.
No, and that's the bottom line. And I think in Boston, it's a different story. I feel like
Mhm.
that we get the home crowd. The energy is really like I think the energy on the Milwaukee side was great too. That I think that was a real home field advantage, and we were lucky to steal that last one in Milwaukee. I think what's messing up Tatum is that they're actually playing defense. That whole Nets series, there was just no defense, and he could get
Right.
around everybody and get any shot he wanted. I think what he learned in this fourth quarter of Game 4 is that he'll get the foul calls if he just becomes aggressive. He just needs to go to the rim and barrel in, and he'll get the foul calls just like Giannis does.
Mhm.
So hopefully that stays, and he uses that aggression in this Game 5.
The other thing before we move on to the next series, we were talking about it a little bit on Saturday watching that game,
Mm-hmm.
but the Celtics in the fourth quarter are unbelievably good.
It's
And in
because
game 4, they missed like 2 shots.
It's because they shot 80%. It was I think it was 16 for 18. And the it's because I think it's because they're just so bad in the third quarter.
Mhm.
They get yelled at in between the third and the fourth. And in the fourth quarter, like, all right, time to put on our big boy pants and actually
Right.
try this game. Because every third quarter, even in game 2 where they blew them out, third quarter 18 points. We just can't we can't keep up in the third quarter. I don't know
Doesn't
why.
make any sense.
I don't get it.
I don't get it either.
You'd think they'd come spry out of the half or whatever, and nope, it never happens.
Mhm.
But yeah, you're right. This fourth quarter Celtics team is really what's going to take them over the top. And I think if this does go 7, which hopefully I'm predicting hopefully Celtics in 6, but if this does go 7, I think having that fourth quarter in Boston, it means the world.
Mhm.
I like if that fourth quarter's in Milwaukee, I'm not feeling confident, but
I think this series has to go 7.
it's such a good series.
Mhm.
Like every
got to.
game has just been. I feel like I said this, like even when the Nets were down 3-0 in that fourth quarter, there was still just so much pressure for some reason on this Celtics
Mhm.
team, and every game has just been like we have to win this game,
Right.
and it's ridiculous. I can't take it anymore, but I love it. I need a.
Yep.
So that's how my Celtics are going. I'm not trying to jinx anything. I just love where we're at right now.
Okay.
So we like it.
I mean, it's a best of 3, and you got 2 at home, so
That's
that
what
feel good.
that's what I was saying. It feels good.
Take care of business at home, and then you're fine.
That's all that matters. All right. Let's move on to the next series. Which one did I line up next? Let's go to Phoenix, Dallas, where
That's another one where it's you're at home, you take care of business.
that's where
Dallas won 2 in a row at home, and everybody's like, "Oh, the Suns are
Mhm.
down," but then it's like they come back home and they win by 30.
and these the games when it was tied, I was shocked that it was tied. Remember we were talking like this Mavericks team just doesn't have enough. The guys aren't good enough. You look top to bottom, and the Suns are just running them out of the building, and that's why like you can have these games where I think if I'm the Suns, I'd rather have a game where Luka's like at like 45, because then the rest the rest of the players are getting nothing. But when you have games where Dorian Finney-Smith is scoring 24 and Brunson's 18 and all like Cleaver's 10, they're all getting their points. Even Bertans is out there with 12 points.
Love that.
Playoff Bertans.
Gotta love that. Playoff Bertans. The laser.
That's why. That's when you can't have Chris Paul be getting 5.
Mhm.
And in
Yeah, I don't know what happened to Chris Paul the other night, and he tried to fight like a 16-year-old kid.
Yeah, that
with
was
fans.
that was weird. That was all really weird. Chris Paul hasn't. I mean, this is not. He hasn't been good all series, pretty much.
He hasn't.
Besides that, he didn't he have like a 14 for 14 game? That was I guess his best game this series. But other than that game, he's had very low scoring numbers. He has had good assists, but they just need to keep having games like this game 3, or else we could end up seeing the Suns get knocked out.
I mean, if they play defense like they did last night, then the Mavericks have no chance.
100%.
And I think at home, like your defense is just going to be better because you have the energy. So this seems like another one that could go 7, and then the Suns take care of business at home.
I agree. I think this. I think it's of course it's a must win for the Mavericks. through too. But if they don't come out hot and come out firing, this could get ugly quick for the Suns because they can swarm. And I just feel like if the Mavericks, though, if they can get Game 6, all of a sudden Chris Paul's on the verge of blowing another 2-0 lead. And we just talked about you could have one of those Luka games where all of a sudden he's got 45. And you just have one
That's
of your
the
boys.
scary thing about Game 7 is as much of an advantage as you think you have, like, anything can happen.
Oh, and that's why, like, if the even if the Celtics series goes 7, that could be a Giannis 50 piece. That could be, he has all a triple double.
Or just some random remember the Kelly Olynyk game? So like that stuff happens.
Yeah, I agree, and I think there's more likely candidates for someone to pop off on the Suns than on the Mavericks. But between Brunson and Luka, like Luka could just have this stretch where he just scores 6 buckets in a row and doesn't miss.
And he's unguardable.
He has these like stupid step backs that just go in, and those you can't do anything about those. And that's the type of player that Luka is with this generational. He's this generational talent that the Suns, they have Booker, but they don't have that.
Yeah, no. I mean, it is a series where the worst team has the best player.
Yep.
Which always makes it a little bit exciting.
Yep. It always makes it more fun. So, say the Mavericks do win. This is where it gets fun. Who's guarding him on the Warriors?
That's gonna be a run and gun series.
That would be Luka versus the world. Just no defense, nothing. Because the Warriors barely play any, and the Mavericks barely play any either. So it'd just be defense.
No, that would be you're getting totals of like 250 in those games.
We've had a lot of low scoring games this whole playoffs. So that would be almost a fresh breath of fresh air. All right, let's move on. Next series, we have Memphis and Warriors. This series is over.
Sad.
It is sad. It was sad that Ja got injured. There's no way that Jordan Poole play was because of. There's no way that's what caused the injury, right?
I don't think so.
Like that, there's no. I've never seen someone get their leg tugged and they're out for the season. So I doubt it. They just don't have enough. This Warriors team, that last game, if I'm a Memphis fan, I'm pissed. That was all baloney. That whole comeback was literally all just free throws. Curry did not hit a single field goal that whole end of the fourth quarter, and he got like 12 points just from free throws.
It's shocking that they could a team that relies on shooting that much to have a game where they shoot that poorly and still win.
Yep. And that's just like Draymond was talking about the veteran savviness, but it's also just like actually they also shot 25%, 40 from field goals, so it's really not that savvy. And you also had 7 more free throws than they did, so whatever.
And they're missing the best player. So
yeah, they're missing their best player.
And
I think they were
aspect of it.
I think they're 1 year away anyways. This is a good team. They're looking. I bet it's gonna be a 3-for-1 deal. They're gonna have to trade because they have too much depth almost. All these young guys can be traded for something good, and they'll get a good player back. It'll be them and Ja, and it'll be fun next year. So stuff to look forward to if you're a Grizz fan, but it's not your year. And that's any other thoughts on the series? I
mean, it wasn't. It's a bummer that Ja got hurt, but you're right. Like it wouldn't have been their year anyway.
Yeah, I don't
think that was a series that they didn't really have that much of a chance of winning anyway. But it does suck because this was like one of the most exciting series, and then Game 3 was a absolute cakewalk for the Warriors, and then he's out for the rest of the series. So it's kind of a bummer just because those first 2 games were so much fun.
Yeah, and they'll always. I mean, they had such a fun series against the Timberwolves. Like this will be a year to remember if you're Minnesota, no matter what the outcome is. So, not Minnesota, I guess Memphis.
Memphis, yeah.
The Warriors, they're starting to scare me though. They have no defense whatsoever, and they also still have no center because they're using
Yeah.
Draymond. And did you see how Memphis guarded Draymond last game?
No.
They didn't. They didn't guard him. He had the ball, and when he had the ball, it was like a radiation zone. No one's allowed in. It's like Chernobyl's out there. Like no
Right.
one go in within that.
It's
within
like
that
Simmons behind the 3-point line.
That's what it was. They're
Like,
playing
just
in
let
like
him be,
Benson,
let him be.
and he's not even when it's a mid-range shot. He's not taking advantage of it.
I feel like he used to have a little bit of a jumper.
He had
I
some.
don't know where that went.
Like there was
at least he was somewhat of a threat to shoot the basketball.
they had to guard him at some point. Like
Yeah.
of course, they never really had to guard him on the 3-point line, but at least he would attempt them. Now he's just not even attempting them, and yeah, he's playing fine. But that's a smart team, a team that's not this young Memphis Grizzlies team is going to be able to expose that, and that team is going to be the Suns or the Mavericks actually.
Yeah, that'll be an interesting thing to watch for sure next series.
Yeah, whoever they match up with. And I think it's funny, on both sides, I feel like the winner of Bucks Celtics will go to the finals. And I feel like I'm not giving a shot to these Warriors. I don't know if maybe that's bad on my part, but I'm not giving a shot to these Warriors.
They're still my pick.
I mean, it's a good pick. I can't see the defense ever holding up against anyone that's not a baby team, which is the Grizzlies. And it's not an insult either. They're just they're a young team. All right.
I think Chris Paul against the Warriors is just not. There's too much
for him?
history there. Yeah.
That could be
Where it's like
that could be
really hard to pick on his side.
That's true. All right, let's get to the worst series that we have left.
What do you mean? That's still a good series.
Yeah, whatever.
Just the games
I'm
aren't very good.
I'm already tired of it. Yeah, only the games are good. Yeah,
Particular series.
only all the games suck. That's the
Right,
only.
yeah.
That's a good series. Just all the games suck.
It's true. That's exactly.
No,
what it is.
you're right.
Have I enjoyed watching it? No.
But
Is
are
it
they?
close? Yes.
Yes, you're right. Is this Heat team like they have almost a spoils of depth?
Mhm.
Spoils of it. Like Victor Oladipo is just an all-star that's just on their bench that can just all right. We'll just,
I completely forgot about him until
And
the start
now-
of the playoffs.
and
I was
now
like,
he's
oh,
like-
he's like
he's
a good
playing,
player.
and he's playing well, and they're just like, oh yeah, by the way, here's Victor Oladipo. Like it's your third stringers that are coming in. Yeah, our third stringers are an all-star. Like here you go.
Right. Yeah.
And Gabe Vincent's
And
good.
Duncan Robinson is just not playing.
No, they gave up.
They just
Like
don't need him.
No, they don't even need him. They gave him $80
Like,
million.
oh, you're not gonna hit shots? Okay.
Yeah, that's
Sit on the
fine.
bench then.
We'll get someone else in. Caleb Martin, I think is not bad. He didn't score very well last game, and this Heat team, it's funny, they are getting like slept on. They're still the 1 seed. No one's picking them to go to the finals.
No one cares about him.
And I hate to say it, I really do, but they've beaten this Celtics team before. They beat them in the bubble. So I don't know if we should write them off. I think this team's good, and Embiid, I think we should write off the Sixers though. I think they're done. I know they're
I think
different
they win
at
game.
home.
I think this one feels like it's going 7-2. Like the Sixers at home are a completely different team. I think they probably get waxed again in Game 7, but I think they have just enough left in the tank to get another home win. Just to crush
I
their
can't
fans'
stand.
hearts
Actually,
again.
that actually would be beautiful, because I know all the Sixers fans be like, "Oh, we're 1 game away. We're 1 game away. Anything could happen in the Game 7," and they just get completely
Yeah.
paved in Game 7. I like
Yeah,
that. All right,
that's a
what
game
I'm
where
rooting for now.
Oladipo scores like 30 points.
It's that no one could guard Jimmy Butler on the Sixers. Not a single person. They have 80-year-old Danny Green trying to guard him, and Thibault they can't play because he can't score.
Mhm.
That's gonna be an issue for them because Thibault was like this guy that you could put him on any of your.
We talked about it in the Raptors series. We were like, oh, like they're gonna miss Thibault in these games,
Yeah.
like in Toronto. It's like, oh, but he's such a liability on offense.
He literally can't do anything. So all I'm hearing is that they just got another Ben Simmons. Right?
Well,
I mean, he's not as much as a baby and a complainer, but
yeah.
He-
Well, Simmons is more valuable than him.
Yeah, I agree.
They could
So
actually
great,
use
great. So
Simmons
they
in
got
this
to.
series to
They would
match up on
love.
Butler.
They would love Ben Simmons in this series. They would
Yeah,
absolutely
they
love him.
would.
I bet they'd love Seth Curry too, and Andre Drummond. But that's just me.
Harden needs to show up. Like
He's
it's
not
gotten to the
there.
point
Like you can't. He's
where
not there anymore.
where
You
we've
can.
been saying this whole time, like they were winning games, and he wasn't giving them those like all-star performances, and eventually it's gonna bite him. Now is the time. It's biting them.
Look, he's not that guy anymore. He'll have the spurts. He'll have a game, and what? Say it's tomorrow night. He'll have. Watch him have 30. All the Sixers fans be like, "Oh, James Harden's back. James Harden's back," and then he'll go on to Game 7 and have like 4.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's had the point of this career where if he does like if he has a good game, it's once in a blue moon. His average is just gonna be bad.
Yeah. And they gave up all their depth to get him.
Well, if only anyone would have told them. All right. So so you see all of them going 7? I would love to see it.
Not the Warriors. I honestly think.
Warriors. I think all the other
I
ones
think
would
if
go
the
7
Bucks
too.
win tonight, then they close it out in Milwaukee.
Okay, that's fair. I don't
I
even
think
want
the
to
rest
that
of
way.
them. I think the other two go 7,
All right, that's fair.
and it's a conditional 7 for the Celtics series.
Yeah, you're just saying if tonight, then nowhere. Okay. All right, sweet. So let's move on. It's time. There's more playoffs to be had and more stakes tonight too, Chris.
These playoffs have not had the issue of no offense. It's been like every game is just goals, 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 which is weird.
Is that as a hockey fan what you want to like? I'm guessing that's what you want to see, right?
Yeah, I mean goals are fun.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
So
Who doesn't love goals?
and it's not like an egregious amount of scoring. I mean, Colorado is. They're scoring like 7 goals a game.
Damn.
And the Penguins are too. But anyway, no one cares about those series. People care about the Caps.
It's only one series that matters.
Yeah. I was crushed the other night when they lost.
OT. Oof.
I mean, it wasn't even just that. It was that they were up 2-1 with like 2 minutes left, and they gave up the game-tying goal.
Oh.
And moments before, there was a shot on the empty net that missed by like a foot or less. And if that goes in, they're up 3-1 in the game. They win that game, and then they're up 3-1 in the series.
So now it's 2-2.
But now it's 2-2. I don't know. I said on Twitter that I've recovered from the other night, and I'm ready again.
Are you lying to yourself, or are you ready?
No, I'm recovered from the other night. I am. That is true. Whether or not I'm ready for another game, I don't know. The funny thing is like this is my distraction from like school right now,
And it's just as stressful.
And it's more stressful.
It's just
like, yeah, but I don't know. I like their chances still. I don't. People keep saying that they got outplayed the other night and would have been lucky to win, but like Florida is not impressing me that much. Like their best guy. I was saying earlier how the stars need to be your stars in the playoffs. It's the same thing in hockey, and like their guys have not been scoring goals. Like Huberdeau and Barkov, those guys haven't showed up. So hopefully they don't show up tonight. Knock on wood. But I hate being confident, but I am, and I feel like that's gonna come back and bite me.
Well, I think there's a lot of good energy coming the Caps' way. I think the mojo is this. It looks like the city's really rallying behind the Caps again. So I don't know if that means anything. It probably doesn't, but I just give you some sort of hope. The city's rallying. I just and so like what's it been when they lose, and what's it been when it's tied 2-2 now? So when they're winning, what's going right, and when they're losing, what's going wrong? Because I've seen they lost 5-1, they won 6-1.
A lot of it is just goaltending, which you can analyze like hits, shots, puck possession, yada yada yada. In game 2, they had bad goaltending. They switched goalies. In game 3, Samsonov came in and was excellent. In game 4, they got outshot by like 20. Still was a close game. Almost won because of goaltending. So that's what it is. I mean, you've got Bobrovsky on the other side, who's like a vet and has won the Vezina, which is like best goalie in the league for the season a couple times, but he's can be inconsistent in the playoffs. So you honestly just hope that he has a couple more off nights, and it's not out of the question because they're significantly worse.
Yeah, that's why they're the 8th seed.
Yeah, right. You are what your record is.
Yeah.
But in a 7-game series, and especially like playoff hockey, I feel like once you get to the playoffs, the game changes more than it does in any other sport. And
In what
teams
way?
that have, well, there's just like more defense, I guess.
Okay.
Like guys are sharper, blocking more shots, stuff like that. Less willing to take risks on offense. So teams like Florida that win the whole season by just putting up 5 goals a game, once defenses can clamp down on that more, that changes everything.
Okay.
So that's why teams like Tampa Bay took them so when they were the best team every year, and the Caps even. Those teams are the best teams every year and can't win the Stanley Cup.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
This is an experienced group. I hope they're mentally tougher than I am. I said that the other day. If it was me, I'd be done. I'd be ready to mail it in.
Shake it in your skates.
I honestly like it's almost better being up 2-2 just because of the pressure of 3-1 and like the history of them blowing 3-1 leads. I hate that so much.
Yeah.
So I'd almost rather go into it being like, and that way Florida's a little more cocky, which I want.
Yeah. And they just think they just stole one from you. So they're riding high right now.
Yep, that's fine.
Yeah, now you gotta punch him in the jaw, tell him right back. So, any other notable series?
I mean, Colorado stomped on Nashville, which is I guess what you expect in a regular playoffs, where like the best team is going against the worst. But that was kind of cool to see, just because they're that good. The Oilers are choking, which is sad. I love Connor McDavid, but they just lost in overtime at home last night in Game 5, and now are down 3-2. The Rangers are getting stomped by the Penguins.
My Maple Leafs are up.
It's sad. Maple Leafs will probably choke that series away. That's what they do. What else? What am I missing? Carolina, Boston. That's a good series. Boston's on the brink now, though. You got Game 6 at home tomorrow night. That'll be a big one. I think Carolina wins that one too. I think your bees are going home.
They got killed. I mean, they're not my bees.
They're not. Actually, are you more of a Carolina fan?
If anything, if I'm a hockey fan, go Krakens. Go Krakens, baby.
Just Kraken. It's not plural.
All right, we'll go Kraken. That's even better.
Yeah, there you go.
Go Kraken. They're the best. I mean, they have the best logo. The Kraken, it's sick.
Do they?
Yeah, the Seattle Kraken. It's awesome. So if I'm a hockey fan, I will start watching the terrible Kraken. But yeah. So no, I don't care about the Bruins.
Gotcha.
So
that's all I got for hockey.
Cool.
I may be in the building on Friday night.
Game
6.
They're not ready for the wise guy there.
Not ready.
They're not ready for the wise guy there. So, what about the MLB? How about how the Phillies doing?
I mean, there was a really horrible incident the other night that I don't even want to address, but they're still struggling a bit.
There's no way that it could be worse than losing in that 9th inning against the Mets.
No, that was the worst game I've ever watched.
Yeah, there's no way it could possibly be worse than that.
No.
So what was it?
It
was it the Mariners lost yesterday?
No, that was the incident. That's what I'm talking about, because I don't think we ever addressed it.
Oh, okay. That was the incident. Yeah, no, we haven't addressed it. Oof. I was like, I don't even know how that even happens.
It's not an exaggeration when I say that it's like the worst thing I've ever seen in sports.
Damn. I
and
think
tanked my enthusiasm for baseball.
that's so man. I don't know. I don't even know how to help you out here.
I
I'm just
mean,
gonna keep
and the
going.
worst part is that it was against their arch rival. If it was just like a regular, the White
Yeah.
Sox did it the other night against the Indians. So it's like, like that's a tough loss, but you move on. When it's against your rival, and then you have to see him 2 more times, and then you have to play him 10 more times the rest of the season, it's not
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, that's not great.
It just can't happen.
So I'm just gonna let you really dwell on that, and I'm gonna move on because I don't know how to address. I don't know what to tell you on that one.
Fantasy team won this week, so I'm excited about that.
That's great. I think I'm gonna be an O's fan this summer. I mean, I'm still a Red Sox fan, but like I'm really not. So let's go O's. I'm gonna try to go to Camden. That's
O's,
why.
we kind of joked about the O's being frisky.
They
They're a little
are.
frisky right
They
now.
are frisky.
They're winning some games. They're stealing some series.
They so the radio station. I have like a boombox behind me. I don't know if you can see it.
Mm-hmm.
Which there it is.
Yeah.
But it's always on 98 Rock, which is the radio station that's around here. And the other day it was like, oh, hey, like we're turning off music, like the Orioles are on. I was like, okay. I started listening to it a little bit. I was like, all right, let's go O's. Like I'm here. If it's on the radio, I'm here for it. Now it made me. I was thinking about it, I was like, Camden tickets got to be like $5.
Yeah.
Like they really
They're
can't
not
be
expensive.
expensive.
It's a nice ballpark too. Can't
Yeah,
go
it's
wrong with
great
the ballpark
ballpark.
hot dog.
So I'm still a Sox fan, but let's go O's. So
Right, I like it.
I'm all for it. They are in the same division though, aren't they?
Yes, they are. You play them 18 times a year.
Perfect. Then I get to watch the Red Sox in Camden all the time. Let's go.
Yep.
All right. Cool. Any other updates? What's going on? What's the best team? Still the best team? Who we say it was last time? Yankees.
I mean, it's been the Dodgers, but the Yankees hit, what was it, 10 or 11 in a row?
It was 11 last time.
That streak snapped, but they're still winning. I think they just took 2 or 3 from Toronto, which was a big division series. So yeah, they're still on top. Dodgers obviously.
The O's are
up
better
there.
than the Orioles. I mean, the O's are better than the Sox. I meant. Jeez.
Yes, they are. The Sox
They're abysmal.
tanking right now.
They're abysmal.
Terrible. The Reds have won back-to-back series. So
Really? The Reds?
The Reds are back.
No,
I
they
think.
doubled wins since last time. They
They
over
did.
doubled. It was
They beat,
three.
funny
They got
funny
4 in a
story.
row.
We were hanging out at my apartment earlier, and the Brewers were playing the Reds at like 12:30 today. The Reds go up 1-0 in the bottom of the first. The Brewers, for context, are like one of the best teams in the National League. Reds go up 1-0. Brewers money line goes down to like plus 100 or whatever. So we're like, all right, let's take it. Like they're not going to lose to the Reds. Immediately, the Reds are up 7-0, like in the blink of an eye.
Oh my god.
And it became an interesting game, but the final was 14-11. I don't know who they have that's scoring all those runs, but good for them for, I don't know, banding together. It's like they're almost like major. Have you ever seen Major League?
No.
So in Major League, the plot is the owner of the Cleveland Indians dies. His wife takes over the team. She wants to move it to Florida, but the team has to be like bad enough where they're not generating revenue so that she can like convince the other owners to move the team.
Yeah.
She just brings in like all these terrible players, and then they like find out what the deal is, and then they just like band together and start winning games, and then like they win the division or whatever.
That's awesome.
So it's a great movie. If you haven't seen it, you should definitely go watch it. But I think that's what's happening to the Reds. Like I think they might go rattle off like a 12 out of 15 stretch here, or not, and they are just the worst team ever. I'm pulling for
Hey,
them.
I don't know. They're catching up to the Tigers and the Royals. They're still single digits.
And they'll sweep the Phillies when they play them. Guaranteed. Guaranteed.
Oh man. Oh, your Phillies are the same record as the O's. Jeez. God. It's funny. It's just like there's like it's so discrepant between these teams. It's like there's 20-win teams, and I guess the whole NL West they're all good. But there's so many teams that are just poop. Like there's so many garbage teams right now.
Yeah. I thought Detroit would be better. But there's teams who are basically like already out of the playoffs. Like Nats, Pirates, the Cubs, the Reds, the Orioles, the Red Sox, the Royals, the Tigers, the Rangers, the
So
A's.
what do you
Like you can already
do?
write them off.
Like, what do you do?
You can already write them off,
I
and
guess.
I guess it is what 30 games into the season. Yeah, they're done.
So the trade. When's the trade deadline?
First few days of August.
So do you think do you think they're all just gonna go on fire sales? Like, do you think the Sox they have
I mean,
valuable
some of them,
players, don't
yeah,
they?
I was about to say some of these teams don't have players to trade.
Don't just
Who
the
are the
Sox?
Reds
I feel
trading for?
yeah, no, that's true.
The Sox? That's interesting.
Like you don't they don't
I
they
don't know
can't
how
get
they're gonna
better
handle
if
that.
they trade for some players.
What?
You don't think they can get better? Like they can't get better pitchers? There's none at the market right now.
I mean, not this early in the season.
It's fair. It's fair. All right. Well, I think that does it for baseball. Nothing else, right?
Nope.
All right. It's everyone's favorite segment, Chris. It's the top 5 Wednesdays. And explain to us. It's your pick. Go ahead. Explain and then take the number 1.
So we're doing the top 5 worst people on a college campus. Basically, the kids that you interact with that just like ruin your day, make you want to punch them in the face, whatnot. I forget how I came up with this. Something must have happened where I was like, I have to rant about it, but I don't even remember what it is. My number 1 is the skateboard or scooter kid.
That
just
just weaving
whizzes
out in
by
between
you.
everybody.
Weaving in and out of people walking. I hate it so much. And the skateboards especially because they make so much noise.
They also bikers, they understand their place is to stay on the road and try to avoid everybody. The skaters, they just think they can go in between everybody.
Mm-hmm.
They think and they try. They try their best. Yeah. My favorite is when the skateboarder comes out behind a group of people and they're trying to find an angle around. And they have to then they stop, kick up the board, have to walk. It's walk with the rest of us, loser.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's special.
Yeah, honestly, just because you could skateboard doesn't mean and there's a lot of respectful skateboarders out there that I respect that get out of the way, but you know who you are if they're just right in the middle of everybody and everyone's looking at you like you're in the way.
Last year, at my dorm, there was a group that would just do skate tricks or whatever outside, and that noise of just the clack 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 against the concrete would drive me nuts. So those kids are included in this. Hate those guys.
All right, good pick. Good pick. My first pick is when you go to class early, and when I go to class early, I'm there early because I either I walked out of the house too early or I don't want to be there early. But I'm sitting there, I open up my notebook, I'm just, doing nothing, or I'm on my laptop looking at something, and I have my headphones in. That means don't talk to me, all right? If you're in the classroom early as well, just mind your own business. I just can't handle it. Because it's all of a sudden you're stuck there for if I'm back-to-back classes, they give you 20 minutes in between each class. And if your classes are close to each other, you could have 15 minutes between your classes. And now you're like, great, now I have to have a 15-minute conversation with this one kid in my classroom just because he decided to come early. And have to talk. Maybe that's just me being an asshole, but
I mean, it depends on the day, honestly, and it also depends on what the conversation is.
Yeah,
because I have no problem answering a question and then just putting my pod back
no,
in
that is fine with me. It's
okay.
it's if I'm reaching to put my pod back in, let it go
and
back
then continue.
in.
Right.
Yeah, let it go back in. And when you do the thing where you're right. I don't mind having a quick conversation with someone about anything, but it's when it's multiple conversations that we're now having, where it's all right, I need to, I was here to do something. I was here to get something done before class or whatever, and especially I'm the type of guy, I'm listening to podcasts when I'm walking around campus, so. I'm trying to get my last 15 minutes.
If you miss something, you have to rewind it. Too,
I can't
which
just
is so annoying.
And I can't just pause it. I need to
Right.
Yeah, I need to actually pause it, and I can't just not pay attention. So that's just a personal thing of me being an asshole, but I think that's pretty fair.
I think it's the Southern hospitality.
So,
don't fit
maybe
in.
that's what I
I was
don't.
like, that doesn't happen to me.
You're right. It's too cold and bitter up there. You know.
All right. My second one, easy one, the narc.
Oh yeah.
Someone's like
The R.
cheating on
Yeah.
something or
The
drinking
worst
in
is
the
in like
dorms.
drinking in the
Somebody
dorms
said
and stuff.
something.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing here?
It's like, dude, we're all 18 to 20 years old here. 18 to
Yeah.
21. Come on. Like, there's
Like,
no
just
need
let
for.
college kids be college
Yeah.
kids. Or like, the girl who calls the campus police because some guy's jerking off in stamp. Like, just let him be.
Let him be. Please, please.
There was another incident.
Oh no.
I won't do it for College Corner because it was like a couple weeks ago, but of a guy just like hanging brain outside of one of the dorms.
Oh my god.
I don't know what's going on here,
College
but it's
Park's
turning in.
getting
It's an
crazy.
epidemic
It's getting crazy.
where just penises are out all the time. I don't know why.
People are getting wild.
But
Oh,
have some
jeez.
self-control. But the narc is a horrible person.
Yeah, the narc's the worst. All right. I'm going with. So I'm combining these two because they're one and the same on my campus. I don't know if you even have these. When you go up to the student union and there's either the protesters or the religious nuts that are just trying to hand me stuff.
I'll save it for College Corner, but
I got handed. So this guy was looking around camp, like looking like lost. I went like, "Hello, like, hey, how's it going? Do you need some help?" He's like, "Oh, like, I'm from not around here." I was like, "Oh, like, do you need some?" And he comes up to me and he's like, "What do you know about Dharma?" I was like, "Dude, oh come on, like, I gotta get to class." Like, and he was just like, here's this book on Dharma, and I was like, "Thanks." Did you? And I was like, "I need to go," and he was like, "Just like quick, can you like donate to me?" And I was like, "No, like I'm not." And I was like, "I'm taking the book, I'm leaving," and like these guys, they're pestering you at all times, and
right.
they're either pestering you about a religion or there's some protest that they're all doing, and nobody cares. They're all just trying to get to class. Everyone's heads down, and they're all ignoring you. So please stop.
Have you ever gotten caught by the Mormons?
Not the Mormons specifically.
Dude. I was walking to the dining hall once and I see these three guys like up on the steps and they're like looking out at campus and like the one's taking a picture. So I was like, "Oh, they're like visiting here."
Yeah.
So when I'm walking up and the one guy says, "Hey, do you have a minute?" I was like, "Oh, he's probably just going to ask me like something about campus
That's
or
what I
like for
thought
directions."
the Dharma guy was gonna.
And I was like, "Yeah, I got a second." He's like, "So where are you in terms of like your faith?" And I was like, "Oh, what have I done?"
You're like, please.
And then I
no.
couldn't
can't
get out of the
away. No, you
conversation.
can't
I
get
felt so
away.
bad. So they have my number. And like every couple weeks I'll get a call. And I hang up right away on the call and then I immediately get another call. Like they don't get they don't take the
They
hint.
don't take the hint. No.
So and then I'll get a message. I guess I should just text them and be like, "Hey, I'm not interested," but
But then you
I
get
don't know.
No, I get it.
More time out of my day.
No, those are
But
the worst. I like just stop pestering me on my campus. You know, I'm trying to go out through my business.
I have one similar to that I'll just throw in now. The SGA.
Oh,
You have that where they just
Yeah.
stop you and they're like, "Have you voted in the election?" "Yes." That's one that really bothers me.
One time, like someone stopped me, like, "Have you voted?" And I didn't yet, and I really wanted to go, "No!" And I'm not going to.
And then they'll say stuff like, "Oh, thanks for doing your civic duty," and it's like, shut up.
It's like, dude, be quiet.
Like, college campus.
Yeah, honestly.
All right, my next one will be the people that go to the library and just like cackle and like have loud conversations. Like, don't come to the library if you're gonna have a little powwow with your buddies. Like, go hang out somewhere.
Of course, I don't do that. I'm not a loiterer at the library. But my issue is when I get to like the quiet floors, I'm going to the study room. Like on the way to the study room, like I'll turn and like say something to my buddy and be like, "Oh, I'm way too loud right now." I turn like the worst is when I get off the elevator and go, "Choo!"
Yeah.
And I'm just like, everyone's looking at me and everything.
Well, that's fine. It's the people that are there and like
Yeah, they're doing it the
sitting
whole
there.
time, yeah.
Like they have a spot there and the whole time they're just talking to each other. It's
No.
like this is the
Yeah,
library.
those are the worst. It's like, come on,
are we
we're
doing here?
we're all here to study. No one's here to socialize.
Yeah.
There are some kids that bring like booze in the library. Have you ever seen that? What?
No.
I don't know. It's like booze at your own home. Why you got booze at our library?
Yeah, that I can't think of one good explanation for that. Like, there has to be somewhere else you can do it.
I agree. All right, what am I on? Number 3?
Yeah.
I don't know what pisses me off more. This one. The kid who uses the elevator to go up one floor.
I did a yik yak about that the other day.
Get off my campus.
I literally posted something on Yik Yak. I was like, why are you using the elevator to go up one floor? I don't get it.
What I've started to do is, like, as the door's closing, I just go, really? Like, really? That's what we're doing? Like, there was, especially the library elevators, it's like, there's 2, and there's 5 floors, and they take
and everyone's
forever.
trying to go
Everyone's
up and down.
trying to go up and down. There are very accessible stairs. They're very easy to do. And if you're going up 1 floor, or even 2, please just use the stairs.
Yeah.
It saves everyone a lot of time. And the worst is when you're like, when you're on 1 and it's going like all the way to 5, and it's like, and then all of a sudden you hear the 2 pop up, and you're like, oh, great. And then all of a sudden they walk in and they press 3, and you're like, oh, now we have to stop at 3.
Like,
and it's like, Jesus Christ.
Like it takes you more time to
Yeah.
wait for the elevator.
You're waiting longer than you were just to walk up the stairs.
Yeah. I don't.
God, they make me so angry.
It doesn't make any sense. I'll add onto that one the people that don't have elevator etiquette, that don't wait. Like when you're in the elevator and the doors open and they're waiting and then they just come on in and you're like, no. I go out first.
Dude.
Then you come in. Everybody knows that.
That happened in my apartment all the time. The elevator would open and the woman just standing there would be I'd be right in my face. I'd be like sometimes I could be they're right there, bro. Like, they would just, and you would have to like almost move them. And I'm a nice guy. I'd be like, I'm so sorry, I'm in your way. And then I'd turn around and be like, why the hell did I say I'm sorry?
Yeah, really.
It's you who are in the way.
I shared a great bonding moment with this kid one night at the library when we were in the elevator and the door opens and that happens, and then we just kind of like walked out and I was like, seriously, like where's the etiquette? And he's just like, honestly, like have some fucking respect. I was like, seriously, dude, it's like midnight, we're all trying to go home. Like, it's like, yeah, it just ruins your day. And I was like, it does, doesn't it? It really does. I was like, that was a great little moment that we just shared.
You should have been like, I have a podcast you'd be very interested in. We talk a lot about these manners.
All right. I'm on number 4, right? Yeah. I will go with the person who blows up the group me.
Oh,
I really can't stand it, especially if it's for like unrelated things, especially, or they're just like trying to be chummy.
Yeah.
It's like, we're classmates.
Yeah, we're
like,
not friends.
We're not buds.
These are not
we're not friends.
This is not.
Don't
a
ask me to
group
come
chat.
study with you. Don't say like, oh, that exam was so hard. Like,
yeah.
Don't say anything.
Yeah. Unless you have like some notes or some reminders for us.
Yeah.
Don't say anything.
Yeah. The shut your trap.
I was just gonna add on. How did I have it worded? Oh, complainers. Just like, oh, he like barely taught us anything in class today. Yeah, I was there. Get the hell out of here. Oh, lecture was so long today. Yeah, I was there. Get the hell out.
It's the opposite of high school where like you have to spend time with those people anyway, so you might as well talk about class.
Yeah.
If I don't have to, like, if I'm not spending any time with you,
I don't want to talk about class.
Like, I don't want to talk about class at all.
Yeah.
I'll complain about class to my actual friends. I don't want you to be blowing up my group me, talking about like, oh, where can I find like the lecture slides on this? Like, how about you just scroll up?
The worst is when you're in the middle of lecture and they ask something that he just said. It's like, and like you go, and it's not only that I just said. Like sometimes it would be like, it's like syllabus day, and it's like syllabus day is always the worst for the group me's because it's like, oh, did he say this or did he say this about the homework? It's like it's all on the syllabus. He all just spent an hour and a half discussing it. It's not that hard. It's never that hard.
I don't like people that ask questions when things are on the syllabus. Like they make it really easy.
It's
That's something
not
I've noticed.
hard.
Like
It's not
professors make
hard.
a syllabus and they pretty much stick to it.
And
So just look at it.
and they explain they like believe it or not, they explain things in class.
Yeah, like they're
Like
not bad people.
yeah.
At least from my experience. I
And I'm
maybe,
sure there's some
maybe
bad
I don't
ones
have the
and I've
same
had some
experience as
bad ones.
others.
But it's like most of the time, especially when it's like a physics class, like everything that he's going to cover is all in the syllabus.
Hmm.
Or gone over in class if changed. Like if changed,
Yeah.
we're going to be notified about it.
Yeah. Oh, I got this one's similar enough where I'll add it on. The kid who takes pictures of the lecture slides. Stop taking pictures. He posts the slides. Don't have to take a picture of every single slide, and then he'll go, "Oh, could you go back for a second, buddy? They're on Canvas.
Yeah, yeah. If you say
Don't
go
have
back
to
for a
take a
second,
picture of
it's like,
every
all right.
one." And it's every class, and it's like 2 or 3 times. If I was the professor, I'd just say, "Fuck you, they're online." Like I'm moving on. I don't know why it's such, like he has to have pictures of them.
Man,
Like I can't stand.
it's not
Every
like
time he does it,
it's not like it's
I,
back in
like-
high school where
I visibly like go like this, and I just hope that somebody like sees that reaction from me and is like, "Yeah, I get it." Like I hate him
the
too.
only thing I'm thinking about right now is Mr. DeMay. All right, so this is our project. I'm taking a picture.
Everybody take a picture.
Just yelling at us for an extra hour about how we're cheating and how
Yeah,
that's
it's like,
not
It
right.
was a joke.
God. All right.
He's listening. I know he listens to every episode.
He's everyone. He just wants to hear
Oh.
my Bills take every episode. All right.
He's got a burner account. He's always responding to our stuff. He's always in the comments.
All right. My number 4. The people who walk in rows. This is a sidewalk, people. This is a goddamn sidewalk.
Bust that one off. That's a big one.
Especially when I was a biker on camp. I'm no longer a biker on campus, but when I was,
Mhm.
oh, it was the worst.
Yeah.
It was like,
Like it's not your sidewalk.
no, get out of the way. People want to walk by you. And if you want to talk to your friend, you could talk to your friend and still leave space in the sidewalk.
Yeah.
It's not hard. It's very not. It's not.
And if you're traveling in like a group of 4, put 2 in the front and 2 in the back.
2 in the front, 2 in the back. It's
Not that hard. Just
nope.
hold 2 separate conversations.
Yep. You
Or
can do
hold
it.
one conversation in a box.
Yeah, you can do it.
It's not ideal, but
Yeah.
serves
You
us
can-
all.
Yeah, you can
so.
bounce it around. Come on now. Or walking a fucking diamond. See, like I don't
Mhm.
care about a diamond. Walking a diamond. Is that too much of an issue? It's
It's so obnoxious.
it is, and
I don't know why. Like, how are there people out there that like don't have these takes?
don't have
That's
this
the other thing. 'Cause
awareness.
it all
yeah.
seems so obvious to me. So why would you do it?
That's yeah. You have a great point. You have a great point. All right, you're number 5.
Which one do I want to do? I will do the person who takes your assigned seat. Because every class I go to, I'm sitting in the same spot.
Yeah.
If I walk in one day and someone's in that spot, I lose my crap.
It depends on the lecture hall.
If it's a big lecture hall, it's no big deal.
Yeah,
If it's
that's-
a classroom,
yeah, if it's a classroom, you're sitting.
I'm in
at
the
your
same spot.
Yeah.
Don't take my spot.
So
Why would you want to move?
I had a Spanish class this semester. That was at 8:30, and I would sometimes get there around like 8:15, but then sometimes get there like 8:28, like get there right at the time. And one day I missed class, and the next day there's some guy in my assigned seat. I'm like, all right, whatever. I don't mean not much of it. And I sit somewhere else, and like next couple classes, I'm sitting back in my assigned seat, and I come back another day, and the same kid is in my assigned seat, and I'm like, what does this kid keep doing to me? Why is he like, what's his obsession? Like, he knows I'm sitting in this spot, and then the teacher goes, because I would just pick a random spot that I didn't, because like, all right, he took my assigned seat, and the teacher was like, oh, she was I'm not gonna, anyways, she was like, oh, Brady, your assigned seats over there. I was like, when the hell did we get assigned seats? And mine was like nowhere close to my other one. That was like literally like the last 3 classes of the semester. She's like, oh, I know you love to sit here, but this is your assigned seat. I was like, what are you talking about? So that one class that I missed, my buddy was like, oh yeah, by the way, we all got assigned seats. I was like, you just never told me? Like, I just kept sitting behind him, and like,
Who does assigned seats in college though?
I don't know. She was like, oh, it's for COVID reasons. I was like, all right.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. But that's my, I guess, not even that funny story of my assigned seat that I just kept getting taken. Am I up?
Yeah, last one.
This might be oddly specific, but it's the kid who doesn't care about the school sports when everyone else is.
Oh yeah.
It's like everyone's excited, like, oh, big game's coming up, or we just won a big game, and they're like, I could care less. It's like, cool. There's a lot of people who care. There's a lot of people on this campus who care. It's like, oh, like when they're like, oh, they're all like, all we're hearing about is like football or whatever. It's like, yeah, maybe because like that's what people care about. There's a lot of good people that care about that.
Yeah, or they'll be like, is anybody actually going to the games? Like, yeah, we are.
Yeah, there's a lot of people going to the
team
game.
play.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. Or yeah, like I just don't see the big deal about like they're all college. Like I had one kid say like, they're all college kids you'll never meet play. I was like, well, why do you watch movies? They're all actors you're never gonna meet. Like what's that? You can say that about anything. It's so
that might
ridiculous.
be the dumbest argument for anything that I've ever heard.
He's like, they're all, you're gonna care about a sport about a bunch of people that you're never gonna meet in your life. You're right. I'm not gonna.
Why would you do anything?
Yeah. Why, dude?
Literally, why would you
watch
do
anything? Why watch anything?
Why would you learn stuff that is taught by or that was created by someone that you'll never meet?
Yep. I don't. That's I had to be on the list. Had to be on there.
All right. The only honorable mentions that I had were the guy who asked too many questions in class. That drives me nuts. Or who like argues with the professor.
Yeah.
Like you don't.
Yeah. Don't
You're
argue
not
with the
right.
professor. Yeah.
Not right. And like, just let it go.
That's the other,
Just-
like they
move
don't.
on.
There's a lot of like, especially when it's like, oh, when can you release the study guide? And it's like, all right, well, I'll release it like, I don't know, the day before the test. Oh, she's really gonna release the study guide the day before the test? Like, how are we supposed to study all that? It's like, clearly she just wants us to learn the material before she posts the answers. Like, and all the, like, as you said earlier, these professors are doing things for a reason. And sometimes it seems nonsense, and sometimes they're bad teachers. But most of the time, it's pretty standard of what they're doing.
And then the last one I have is like the guy who brags about like drinking or smoking or something. Like I don't get that.
Yeah, I
It's
don't
just
get
like,
that either.
oh, like I like blacked out so hard the other night. Like it was so much fun. I was like, was it?
Yeah,
Like, you don't remember?
yeah, and you also
How's
you're
it that
in
fun?
bed for the next day for 4 hours.
Yeah,
You're right.
seriously. Or someone who's like, oh, I can definitely outdrink you. It's like,
That's
Ooh,
awesome. That's
knock
really
yourself
cool.
out.
Oh, you're such a lightweight. Yeah, that's great. That's awesome. I don't care what I am. No, I get that. I guess the only one that wasn't said was the gym loiterers. They're there for hours, taking up the machines, loitering.
Yep.
Sometimes I see them smoking a cigarette on the side. I don't know what they're doing, causing havoc. But they're stealing my benches. That's what they're doing.
Yeah, people that just like sit on one machine for like 20 minutes. It's like, dude.
It's like,
how
dude,
many
how
reps
like
do
how
you
many
have?
how many reps you taking over here?
Yeah.
You taking 30 for 5? Like, what's going on here?
Yeah, that's I do hate that. I love it when people are courteous in the gym. I don't know why, but it makes me happy.
Yeah,
Like the other day,
It's 'cause it's
I
like-
went up to this machine, like the chest fly machine, and this kid, he was like getting one. He was like, "Oh, I'm actually using that," and I was like, "Oh, okay." And then he was like, "You want to work in with me?" And I was like, "Yeah."
nice.
Like that was a nice little moment.
I think it's because you don't have to. There's
Right.
you do not have to be courteous at the gym. If that's
Nope,
your
you could just be
machine,
an
you take the
asshole.
machine. Yeah, like that's all on you. But
Yeah, and like I could have gone up and been like, "Oh, well, you left," and just sat down and done it. Or like you didn't have to offer that. You've been like, "No, it's mine. Beat it."
yeah,
Yeah, I feel like at least 50% of people are courteous. Yeah, everyone's just trying to get a pump in,
I'd agree. All right,
but you do get the assholes.
I think that does it. So college corner, Chris, I'm out. I got nothing besides. I guess if you really want to do it, I saw today on one of our like, it's called like USC Talks Hoops or whatever, and it's like all about our basketball prospects and stuff.
Oh dear.
And they put on our story. I don't know if you see that new 6'8" point guard or power forward, 1.6 points per game, 2.1 rebounds. That's not something to brag about.
No, that's not.
No, it's not at all something to brag about. So I saw that and I was like, great. That's just that. Like at least it's another body.
Hmm.
But
Yeah, I
that's
guess.
all I got.
Sometimes you just need guys. I have two. First of all, the kid Antoine Davis is going back to Detroit and signing an NIL deal. So I know my guy
That's a
Jeff
kick to the
Erman
balls.
thinks that it like was all a scam,
Just to get
and
that
he was just trying to like drum up attention and then get the deal and go back. So that's annoying.
That's
I
lame.
can't believe I tweeted at him. He sucks. I hope he has a horrible, horrible senior year. Uh, I think we're getting another kid from Georgetown though to make up for it, but we'll see.
You gotta be
Second
getting those
one,
Georgetown kids. They're
yeah, it's
close
a
enough.
pipeline.
Yeah, you gotta be getting them.
I talked about it a little bit earlier. There is a religious group. It's like the nutty, like radical Christian group, I think, that are just like ridiculously traditional. So I have a picture here of one of the signs that they were holding up. It says, "Godly women are quiet, obedient, pure dressed, and modest.
Oh my
Godly
god.
mothers are submissive to their husbands, baby making machines, have as many as womanly possible, keepers at home, cooking, laundry, doing dishes, please their man, etc." And they're walking around and like they'll call women whores for the way that they dress.
Oh my
Like
god.
it's a
Holy.
it's a whole thing.
This seems like
One
a
of them
major
said
issue.
one of them said all the females here are whores and not godly women. They're too black to be Catholic. Not really sure what that even means.
I think, like, how are
It's
rocks not being pelted at these guys?
I think kids go because they have fun.
What do you
They
mean?
just watch them.
Oh, okay. They just like
Like
watch
no
to
one's
see what they
actually
do.
offended.
They just like to see what they do next.
It's just like to see what happens. But yeah, it's they come every year, I think.
Jeez.
You know, it's a free speech thing, so
Yeah, I
I
get.
kick them off.
God
But
damn. That's brutal.
yeah, there's something.
That's weird as hell.
It is very weird.
Well,
And there are like women there too. It's not like it's men saying that women should be in the kitchen. It's like
no,
women
no,
saying
that's the
women
other
should be
thing.
in the
There's a lot of weird traditionalists like that where it's like,
Yeah.
oh, so you're also okay with this?
kitchen. Yeah, right. Yes.
Yes, I am. All right. Well, I think that does it. I have nothing planned for. You're not moving Friday, are you?
Nope.
All right. Then it looks like we're good to go Friday. We'll see everyone there, and hope you guys enjoy this week. Go Celtics.